Welcome to the Clean Slate Podcast, brought to you by ClearRank.com.
We're both expert traders and market analysts here at ClearRank.
And, if you've been listening to the show, you know that ClearRank's mission is to really bring some honesty and clarity to online trading.
Yeah, we want to help you make good decisions about your investments with data-driven broker evaluations.
Yeah, cut through all that marketing hype.
Exactly.
And today we're going to be looking closely at a broker that's been on our radar for a while now, Fyntura.
Yeah.
They make some pretty bold claims about deep liquidity and low-cost trading and raw spreads. So, on the surface, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, they make it sound appealing, for sure.
But we put Fyntura through our clear analysis.
Oh, yeah.
And let's just say the results
wasn't as good as they make it sound.
not quite as impressive as their marketing would have you believe.
Right.
So first of all, they claim to be registered in the Seychelles.
Okay.
We decided to look into that a little bit. Went to the source, the Seychelles Financial Services Authority website.
Uh-huh.
And guess what?
What?
No Fyntura listed. And operating without a license in the Seychelles is not a small thing. It's actually illegal.
Yeah, that's a big red flag right there.
It is a pretty big problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And it gets even more interesting when you look at where Fyntura is focusing their attention.
Okay.
We took a look at some OPHEF's data, and it turns out that 90% of their website traffic is coming from the USA.
Wow.
Which is a big problem because to operate in the U.S., you have to be regulated by the NFA and CFTC.
Right, it's not an option.
It's a legal requirement, and to operate without that is a major violation.
A serious one.
So we have a broker that's not registered where they claim to be potentially targeting U.S. traders illegally.
Yeah, this is not looking good.
And then things took a really strange turn when we decided to talk to their support team.
Oh, really?
We had our team use the ClearRank live chat to connect with one of Fyntura's agents.
Okay.
And what they said was, let's just say it really set off alarm bells.
Okay.
They said they accept clients from anywhere in the world.
Really?
No KYC.
Wow.
No verification required.
And
they only work with cryptocurrency transactions.
So no standard checks on who their clients are, and they're only in crypto.
Right.
Well, that's pretty concerning.
What kind of issues did that create?
Well, for one thing, it's a direct violation of KCAML regulations.
Okay.
Those rules are there to prevent money laundering, and when brokers don't follow them, it's a really big deal.
You really have to wonder what they're trying to hide.
Exactly.
And then there's the issue of tax evasion.
Oh, right.
When everything is done in crypto, it's a lot easier for people to obscure the source of their funds and potentially not pay taxes that they should be paying.
Yeah, that makes it much harder for authorities to track any illegal activity.
So not only are there potential legal issues for Fyntura, but also for their clients.
That's right.
And to make things even worse,
What's that?
Fyntura doesn't advertise on Google paid search.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen one of their ads?
Now that you mention it, no, I haven't.
And that's really strange because legitimate brokers invest a ton of money in Google ads.
Yeah, it's how most people find brokers these days.
But to do that, you have to go through a verification process.
Right, Google wants to make sure you're a real company and that you're operating legally.
So it seems like Fyntura couldn't pass Google's checks.
Wow, so they couldn't even meet Google's standards for advertising?
Yeah, and then there's the whole issue of their payment methods.
Okay, what about them?
Well, they only accept cryptocurrency.
Really?
No bank transfers, no credit cards.
So no other options at all?
Nope.
Well, most legitimate brokers offer those traditional payment methods alongside crypto.
Right.
So why do you think Fyntura would stick solely with cryptocurrency?
Well, there are a few possibilities, and none of them are particularly good.
Like what?
Well, the biggest concern is anonymity.
Right.
Cryptocurrency makes it very difficult to trace funds or figure out who the beneficial owner is.
Oh, so it opens the door to all kinds of shady practices.
Exactly. And when you combine that with the massive amount of negative reviews that we've seen about Fyntura, it paints a pretty troubling picture.
What kind of complaints are we seeing?
Well, our Verified Feedback AI tool has been flagging a lot of serious issues.
Oh, no.
Accusations of trade manipulation, people being refused withdrawals, and just radio silence from customer support.
Wow.
And it's not just on our platform. We found tons of similar negative reviews all over the internet.
So there's a pattern of bad behavior here.
It's starting to look like Fyntura is more interested in taking advantage of their clients than actually helping them trade.
Yeah, that's a real possibility, especially when you consider that they're being accused of manipulating trades as a market maker.
Can you explain what that means for listeners who might not know?
Sure. So a market maker is a company that essentially creates its own internal market.
Okay.
They set the prices for assets, and then they profit from the difference between what buyers are willing to pay and what sellers are willing to accept.
Okay.
Now, this model can be legitimate,
Uh-huh.
but it also creates a big conflict of interest
How so?
because the more money their clients lose, the more money they make.
Oh, I see.
And in Fyntura's case, there are allegations that they're manipulating prices and creating slippage in order to push their clients' accounts into a loss.
So it's like they're rigging the game against their own clients.
Basically, yeah.
So what can someone do if they've already invested with Fyntura and they're worried about their funds?
That's a tough situation, but it's not hopeless.
What would you recommend?
Well, remember, Fyntura seems to be targeting U.S. traders.
Right.
So if you're in the U.S., you can contact the NFA and the CFTC.
Those are the regulatory bodies that oversee trading in the U.S.
Exactly, and they take complaints about illegal activity very seriously.
So file a formal complaint with them.
Yeah, give them as much detail as possible, your deposit history, your trading records, any communication you've had with Fyntura.
Good advice.
You're probably not the only one who's complaining, and the more information they have, the better equipped they'll be to investigate.
What else can people do?
Well, even though cryptocurrency transactions are designed to be anonymous, you might still be able to trace your funds and identify the beneficial owner.
Really? How?
There are companies like Chainalysis that specialize in blockchain forensics and recovery.
Interesting.
They might be able to help, especially if your funds were moved to an exchange that requires KYC compliance.
So even with crypto, there might be a way to get your money back.
It's definitely worth looking into.
Are there any other options, maybe some legal avenues people can pursue?
Yeah, actually, there's an interesting angle here.
Okay.
Remember, Fyntura operates on the MetaTrader 4 platform?
Mm-hmm.
And MetaQuotes, the company behind the platform, has been cracking down on unregulated brokers.
They're trying to clean up their act.
Right, they're phasing out support for these shady companies.
So what does that mean for people who have been trading with Fyntura?
Well, if you've been trading on their MT4 platform, you could potentially hire a lawyer to start legal proceedings and subpoena MetaQuotes for Fyntura's KYC data.
Oh, that's a clever strategy.
Yeah, it might be a long shot, but it's worth considering.
So we've got regulatory complaints, blockchain forensics, and legal action. Are there any quicker things people can try?
Well, here's a pro tip.
I love a good pro tip.
Try to recover at least some of your money by contacting Fyntura directly and requesting a partial withdrawal.
Oh, so like play into their game a little bit.
Exactly. Tell them you want to test their withdrawal process before you invest any more money.
Okay.
A lot of these unregulated brokers operate like boiler rooms, with their account managers always pushing you to deposit more.
Right.
So if that sounds familiar, you might be in luck.
Why is that?
Well, illicit brokers tend to be greedy,
Mm-hmm.
and this tactic might give you a chance to get at least some of your funds back quickly.
It's worth a shot.
It can't hurt.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of red flags here.
Yeah, a lot of concerning information.
What's the bottom line? What's the clear rank verdict on Fyntura?
Honestly, trading with any broker that fails our clear score analysis is super risky, and Fyntura got the lowest possible rating across every single category.
Wow.
So that makes them a really dangerous choice for any trader.
Ouch.
Trying to outperform the market is hard enough as it is, but trying to do it when your own broker is working against you.
Yeah, that's almost impossible.
Pretty much.
So the lesson here is clear. Choose a regulated broker with a good reputation. Don't be fooled by empty promises, and always make safety a priority when it comes to your investments.
Couldn't agree more.
We'll be back after a quick break to talk about what Fyntura's story means for the wider online trading landscape.
Stay tuned. You know, Fyntura's case is a good example of a problem we see a lot in the trading world.
Yeah.
It's that promise of getting rich quick that you see all the time, especially for newer traders.
You see those flashy ads everywhere, promising insane returns with like no risk.
Right.
And it's easy to see why someone new to trading would fall for that.
Yeah, they prey on those new traders who are, maybe a little too eager to jump in and haven't learned to spot those warning signs yet.
So what advice would you give to those new traders to help them avoid these traps?
The biggest thing is to just do your research.
Okay.
Don't take the broker's word for it, Look for independent reviews, check their regulatory status, see what other traders are saying.
Yeah, ClearRank is a great place to start for that.
Oh, for sure.
We've got tons of info on that site to help traders evaluate brokers.
Definitely.
But the key is to be thorough.
Yeah.
Don't rush into anything, and if something feels off, just trust your gut.
Right. There are tons of good brokers out there, so you don't have to settle for one that's giving you bad vibes.
That's such a good point. And I think it's also important to just understand the basics of how the market works.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know, the better you'll be able to see scams or manipulation.
Absolutely. Education is key.
Yeah.
Take some time to learn about different trading strategies, risk management, how to analyze data.
Right.
There's so many resources out there to help you build a good foundation.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If a broker's being evasive or they can't explain their fees or regulations or anything like that,
Right.
That's a big red flag.
Huge red flag. A legitimate broker is going to be upfront about how they do business.
Right, they should be transparent.
Exactly. They shouldn't be hiding anything.
This whole situation with Fyntura is really a good example of why you have to be so careful. The trading world can be exciting and you can make money,
Yeah,
but there are also a lot of shady people out there who just want to take advantage of you,
that's right. And it's important to remember that no investment is risk-free.
right?
Trading always has the potential for losses, even with a good broker.
Exactly.
Anyone who promises you guaranteed returns is lying.
So to wrap this up, stay informed, do your research, and when it comes to brokers, prioritize safety and trustworthiness.
Well said. At the end of the day, it's your money that's at stake.
That's right.
It's worth taking the time to make sure it's with the right people.
Fyntura might be an extreme example,
Yeah.
but they're not the only ones out there.
No, unfortunately not. And they're actively looking for traders to take advantage of. And that's why what we do at ClearRank is so important. We're trying to bring some transparency to this industry and give traders the information they need.
Right. And our Clear Score is a really powerful tool for that.
Yeah, it helps cut through all the BS and gives you an objective look at how legitimate a broker is.
Exactly. And we're always updating it to stay ahead of the curve.
We have to, because these bad actors are always finding new ways to operate.
And we want to encourage our listeners to help out too.
Yeah.
Share your experiences, good and bad. Leave reviews on ClearRank and other platforms. Let's build a community where traders can support each other and share information.
The more information we all have, the better we can expose these guys.
So to wrap things up, if you're thinking about trading with a new broker, do your due diligence.
Absolutely.
Check their regulations, read reviews, and remember, if something sounds too good to be true,
It probably is.
there's no replacement for research and a little bit of healthy skepticism.
When it comes to your money, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
ClearRank is here to help.
That's right.
We're always updating our site with new reviews, insights, and educational resources.
We want to help you make sense of the trading world.
We believe that everyone deserves access to clear, honest information about brokers.
Absolutely.
So stay informed, stay vigilant, and as always, happy trading. You know, it's kind of scary to think that a broker like Fyntura can operate so openly, especially when you think about what could happen to traders.
Yeah, it really shows you how important regulation is in trading. You know, those rules are there for a reason. They're there to protect people. When you choose a regulated broker, you at least have some options if something goes wrong.
Right.
You know, there's a system in place to hold them accountable.
But what about the people who are drawn to those unregulated brokers? You know,
Yeah.
what would you say to someone who's thinking, well, Fyntura might be risky, but the potential rewards are huge?
Well, I'd ask them to really think about it. Is it worth risking all of your money for the chance of a bigger payout?
Right.
Most of these unregulated brokers are not real businesses. You know, they're basically scams designed to steal your money.
And even if you do make some money, getting it out could be a whole other problem.
Oh, yeah. We've seen so many complaints from people who couldn't withdraw their funds from these shady brokers.
So you might see your account balance going up,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean anything if you can't actually access the money.
Right. It's like winning a lottery ticket, but you can't cash it in.
So before you even think about profits, you have to think about the very real chance that you could lose everything.
You need to be realistic about the risks of trading. You know, there are no guarantees, and there's always a chance of losing money, even with a good broker.
That's right. It's all about managing those risks and making smart decisions. And that starts with choosing a broker you can trust.
Absolutely. Your broker should be your partner in trading, not someone who's working against you. They should be transparent and reliable, and they should want to help you succeed.
So to sum it all up, if you're thinking about getting into trading, remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Take your time, do your research, and choose a broker that you feel good about.
And remember, ClearRank is here to help you figure out the world of online trading.
We'll keep giving you the information you need to make good decisions and protect your investments.
Thanks for listening today, and as always, happy trading.